Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mistonia's Hope. Going to stop. Not going to stop. The bird needs to stop. Sorry, he's just making his bug spotting noise, and there's no bug. It's not a bug. It's that little tiny nail on the ceiling. Jesus. Anyway, we're gonna start Linus's route. So I'm gonna start the new game just because, we're going to. Oh, we can skip to next choice, can't we? Nope, don't do that. Okay. Is this how we do it? Yes. There we go. I'll be working for them starting today. And we're going to use the same names. So, okay. So we're just going to jump to the choices or whatever because we just have that scene where we go into a different, room. Yes, okay. Yes, okay. Yes, okay. I know. Okay. Do you want to skip? Yes. They ask you that after. Shit, wait a minute. Oh, we burn it. Okay. Oh, right. I forgot to skip to next choice. Sorry. Just do that. We decided to make a move. Help with plating, don't help with seasoning. Because there's the scene where we choose and we talk to our love interest, I figure this would just be easier, even though we'll just, these ones I don't think we can skip. We gotta just do this, which is fine. It would have been nicer to save there, but I guess I can. I don't know if that's going to make a difference if we have to say, like, with the other routes. You know what I mean? Maybe it is different. I don't know. So we'll make a save file before we choose the, in this case, outside, I think is the garden or something for Linus. This way we don't have to do all this over again. Possibly in the next one. I don't know. We'll see. But it shouldn't take that long to, like, skip through this. But anyway. So, while we're skipping through this, I think we finished Lucas's route and I was like, Snowpocalypse is coming. I managed to survive. We did get a lot of ice. And it looked like a little bit of, like, snow. It could have just been a lot of ice. Whatever. Did not lose power, thank God. I was overly prepared. Okay, I was not overly prepared like the people who bought 7,000 rolls of toilet paper and 82 gallons of milk because what the fuck? Gross. But I did get myself a little portable, like, phone charger. I never have one, right? I've never gotten one, and even though there are times where I'm thinking, oh, I need one, I should always have one, and I never get one. And of course, I was like, let me go get one. And the only one that actually would ship overnight was $120. I wanted to get one that was like $40, but they were like, we'll ship it to you overnight. It'll be to you Sunday. It's Thursday. No, it's not getting to me, by the way. Then, you know what I mean? It's not going to get to me, like, especially, and that'll be too late if I lose power on, like, fucking Saturday night. You know what I mean? So I did that. I packed my freezer full of all my little freezy bags. I did motherfucking everything. And okay, so that's that. I'm gonna just let it skip through this because I think the next choice in chapter 2 is where we go to the garden. That's where it's different. Where we choose, I think. So while it's skipping that, I'm going to I want to go, I think this is where we should save. Because chapter 2, yes, with him was the library. So we should save here. And, well, the thing is we did make a common route save file, didn't we? Oh, we had... Did we make... No, we didn't. Okay, hold on. We never... Wait. Oh, because we did a common route save file here. For, like, who do we choose? All right, well, I'll just make them... You know, because it didn't... I wish she had said you can make an optional save here so that you could see these different scenes instead of just a common route save. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go to the garden. The garden. Because at least if we do the common route save file, which when it comes to save for the common route, I will save there again. I'll save over the first one we did, because then maybe it'll, you know, I don't know. Just in case. But then this way, at least we have this save where we can come back here and see the different scenes with our love interests. But anyway, Linus said he wanted to get some fresh air, so I went to the garden, assuming I'd find him there. There was always a chance he'd simply open the window of his room, but considering our first meeting, the garden was a possibility. I looked around, then... There he is. He really is here. There he was, standing in the dark. It appeared he'd noticed my presence first, as his amber eyes caught my own. Linus seemed to be quite sensitive to others' presence. Was that a trait unique to his clan? Oh, he's a little bluebell flower. Are you out for a walk, too? No, it doesn't seem like it. You're looking for me, right? Indeed. Would you like some tea? I can bring it to the drawing room or dining room. How would you like it? It's so funny because I read that as drawing room and then dining room look like drawing room to me. And I'm like, I can bring it to the drawing room or the drawing room? No, my brain just can't word. He didn't answer right away, and I approached him. Even in the moonlight, his complexion didn't look good. I don't need any. And honestly, how do I put this? I don't really want to be around you right now. My apologies. Have I done something rude? I didn't expect Linus to say that, considering how friendly he was, even to the servants. Because of the timing, it was only natural to consider myself as the reason why he felt unwell. Okay, but does he... Okay, so, like, Lucas kind of realized right away, or had suspicions right away because we look like Riley. I feel like Linus is always in love with his first love, blah, 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 childhood love, right? That's the thing. It's going to be us. We met when we were kids. Okay, fair enough. But has he figured out who we are already? Or is he like, no, because I kind of like you, but my first love? And is he torn right now because he hasn't put the pieces together? Because I just feel like if he's figured it out already, it's like, well, that just kind of makes the route boring already. Because Lucas figured it out right away. You're going to figure... What fun is there if you're all going to figure it out instantaneously? Like, that's not fun. You know what I mean? That's like on the games where we're like, I'm a girl pretending to be a boy, and they're like, well, we knew it instantaneously. That's not fun. I want the bamboozlement. You know what I mean? Like, even if there's like, I suspect there's something up with you, you know what I mean? Like, the reveal is the fun part. So, like, don't take that away. Even so, it didn't ring any bells. Linus saw my confusion and waved his hands hurriedly. No, that's not it. I didn't mean it that way. You've done nothing wrong. I'm the problem. Oh, your aura's a little similar to a girl I got to know a long time ago. Okay, all right. So, your aura is just similar to my first childhood love, and you're not going to put the pieces together that I am her, because you assume she's dead, rightfully so. So, okay. But this is exactly what it is. Your aura's like hers, and I might fall for you, and that would just be wrong. You're gonna be that bitch? Okay. Okay, alright. I'm not making fun of it. I kind of find it interesting. It's because it's all... Okay. If this were the route where he was that bitch, like, oh no, my first childhood love, oh my god, oh, and it's some other girl, ew, no, miss me with that shit. Get over it. Get over your ex. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's not a trope I'm into. I will bang my brother. Hell yeah, I'm here for that kind of taboo, inappropriate shit. But miss me with the, I'm 18 and that guy's 40, gross, or the, I can't get over my ex, but like maybe someday I'll like you more. Ew. No, miss me with those things. Don't like it. This is okay because you know damn well we are that girl he's pining over. So, like, it's totally fine. But there's going to be so many instances in this route. He's going to be talking about her, and I'm going to be like, see, if I knew it wasn't us, I'd be annoyed. But I know damn well it's going to be us. And I don't know that because I haven't seen any spoilers or anything. So I don't know 100%, but I'm like 99.9% sure that's exactly how it's going to go. Okay? Like, I would be shocked if we were not. As soon as it was like, oh, he's pining over a lost love, I was like, it's us. It's absolutely us because yeah, no question. You know what I mean? Especially because we were supposed to have died. So obvious. It's pretty obvious. I don't think it's a surprise. Was it supposed to be a surprise or a shock? Because I feel like anybody who read this was like, oh, he met us a long time ago somehow and it's us, right? Right? The first time you played this game and you read this line or you read anything about him pining over a lost love, you were like, oh, it's us, right? You knew. You just knew before the game told you. It's not, right? You know? Okay. Anyway. I'm reminded of her whenever you get near me. It's probably just because the topic of 8 years ago came up. I'm being oversensitive. I'm really sorry for my thoughtlessness. Did he just associate an old acquaintance who looked like me with the incident from 8 years ago? Have I met him somewhere before? Linus should be 21 now, making him 13 back then. It's hard to imagine someone so young taking part in the incident. Perhaps we met, but not on the day of the attack? Well, I like the fact that she's already like, do I know you? I mean, to be fair, okay, I understand you not meeting Lucas or Alfred because they're older. Like, we're 19, so he would have only been a couple years older than us. So yes, and, you know, meeting someone roughly your age within a few years, you're in the same kind of age group. You know what I mean? Like, so if you went to formal parties or something with the Five Houses, you wouldn't have been hanging out with Alfred or Lucas. You know what I mean? You'd have been hanging out in the kid corner. You'd have been at the kiddie table with Linus. Maybe Edward. I don't know how old he is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, so this, her being like, have I met him before? Because, like, we're roughly the same age. We're in the same circle being part of the Five Houses. So it makes sense for her to think that, you know? Although it's weird because I feel like she is like right now in this moment being like, have I met him before? Because he's talking about 8 years ago and I remind him of someone. So it feels like she's assuming he's reminded of her and being like, wait, have I met him? Because he, you know what I mean? Like she's making that connection and I don't know if, would you be making that connection right now? We've skipped through a lot. So like we're 2 seconds into the game and it's like, would you really be making this connection like that? But she's a smart cookie. So maybe, you know. I needed to get to the bottom of this. I chose my words carefully, making sure I sounded like a maid, speaking purely out of concern. I'm sure what happened in that village didn't make you feel very good, Lord Linus. I wanted to see how my comment affected him. Linus looked down. I guess so. I heard lots of people died in that incident, and House Ward was involved. I mean... Wait. Hold on. What? We knew. We knew all of them were involved. I'm just surprised he revealed it right away. But at the same time, his house was involved. We don't know if he played a part. In Edward's case, I would bet Edmund, maybe Lily played a part. You know what I mean? Ascot, who the fuck knows, because he's the queen's advice. He's going to have some... he probably has dirtier hands than everybody else. Let's be real. I'm just waiting for that because the game's going to be like, I'm going to make you hate this man. And you can't make me hate a Jun Fukuyama character. You can't. You can't, game, no matter what you do. I'll never hate a character that he voices. But with Linus only being 13, I would think the only thing he could have done, and I think we speculated this initially, was he might have been like, oh, I saw my, like, friend, oh, I saw her wherever. And, like, just as a kid... knowing where we were or seeing, and then spilling the beans, not realizing. You know what I mean? Like, not knowing you're supposed to keep this secret and you know what I mean? Like, oh, here's this girl I have a crush on, and not really, oh, I saw Spacey. She was here in this place, like whatever. And then, you know what I mean? And then, like, I saw her in the woods by Elk Beak, and then everybody knows where you are because you happen to run into this kid that you were friends with. You know what I mean? That would be it, I would think. It would have been an accidental thing. Or if he's got some kind of super senses, they would have been like, find her. And he would have been like, okay, because he was a dumb kid. 13, you're not totally stupid, but at the same time, maybe he wouldn't have realized the implication of what was happening, depending. So I don't know. But I don't necessarily think he was as deeply involved as Alfred and Lucas. But he mentioned it during the banquet, remember? The whole thing about the villagers targeting Her Majesty. It isn't too off the mark. House Ward's a descendant of the Kusith clan who were loyal to the Queen. You understand what that means, right? So he basically feels sorry for the villagers, but he can't say anything because they're enemies of the Queen. Anyway, that's all. Can you let me off the hook now? I've given you my apology and explained my circumstances. He laughed cheerfully, but his expression said I'd just reopened old wounds. Felt like I'd gone a little too far. I apologize for bringing up such a painful subject. Please forgive my discourtesy. So, I mean, it's interesting because he's like, I really feel bad that all those people died, but they're enemies and that's what we had to do. So, to be fair, I feel like that's what all of them have felt. Like, we did this because we were told to do it, and it's not that we were like, woohoo, yay, killing innocent people. Nobody wanted to do it. Lucas had to basically be coerced, like brainwashed into doing it, controlled. And Alfred was like, I was told to do it, so I did it, despite the fact that I wanted to stab that bitch instead. Alfred was a little more cool-headed about it, but he didn't love it either. He wasn't like, yes, I love killing. Like, we don't have that. Well, maybe that's Ascot, for all we know. Okay? But so far, I don't think any of our love interests that we've met, maybe aside from Ascot, are the kind to be like, yes, I love bloodshed. Maybe Edward, he's hiding that under, like, the delicate flower act. He's maybe a bloodthirsty murderer. Okay? But I'm not, that would be a shock. So if anyone's going to be trash, it's going to be Ascot. Let's be real. The rest of them are like, I was doing my job, even though, like, I don't know if I love the idea of it, So that's why we're going to fall in love with them, because they're not bloodthirsty murderers. They're like, I did it because I had to, but I didn't really like it, but I had to. And that's our conundrum. They still helped murder my family. Even if they didn't want to do it, they still did, So, I shall excuse myself then. When I bowed my head in apology, my heart stirred. I wasn't sure whether or not he was one of the attackers, but if he felt this way just because he was a ward, that was plain ridiculous. As a member of House Randolph, my life was still a living hell. To say I was traumatized was an understatement. And then we're going to, well, hold on. Yes, okay, so we did read that. Okay, just making sure. So now we go to the shard exploration. So we'll just, I do think it's funny that you can't skip any of these, but you should be able to. You know what I mean? Because none of them are different. So, I mean, we said this during Lucas's. I do find it odd that you can skip the first one, because that's the tutorial. So that one doesn't really matter. You can skip that one. But the other ones, you can't skip them. Even though, I guess, I mean, well, no, not really. There's no reason to not be able. I feel like if the game knows you can skip to next choice or unread section, it knows what you've read and everything, then it should have a thing that knows, okay, you have already done this exploration once, and be like, do you want to skip all of it? So, like, because you could theoretically go through this and only do the shards. I don't know if you have to actually choose. You know, if you just went through and did the shards and you skipped the scenes where there is no shard? You know what I mean? Like, if you can continue, because we've always just done everything. Oh, this one's different. Oh, okay. This makes sense. This is new. Pardon me, I've brought the tea.
Hey there, how are you? I'm so lucky to be able to meet up with you.
I shall prepare your tea, because we can't skip it. So, was there one in Lucas's like this? Now I'm starting to think there was, and I forgot about it. Because now I'm like, I feel like I said the same thing in Lucas's, like we should be able to skip because what's the point? And then I was probably saying the exact same thing when it stopped and went, here's something new. And I went, oh, that explains it. I'm getting a weird deja vu feeling. Okay, well, never mind. See, I forgot already. Unlike him, I felt decidedly unlucky to be here. Who would have thought Nicholas's guest would be Ascot? I thought I'd have a chance to look around a bit when he asked me to prepare tea for his guest, but that hope had been completely dashed.
How cold. I just wanted to get along with you.
I'm honored, but I don't deserve that. I honestly couldn't quite figure out how to deal with Ascot. At first glance, this seemed like the perfect opportunity to gather information, but as Goneril had said, I doubted I had the experience to pull it off. Also, I find it interesting that we're meeting Ascot in the middle with what would be Linus's route. So what was the Lucas scene? I don't remember. That was different, you know? Who were we talking to then? If I make a mistake and my identity is revealed, all the hard work I've done will instantly vanish. Is something the matter?
It's just that you look like a kitten with its fur standing on end, all tense and on guard. And there aren't many ladies who are wary of me. I must admit that it's quite intriguing.
How to get into Ascot's pants. Try to avoid him. All right, got it. He's making fun of me. I regretted showing my emotion so openly when I caught sight of his smile. As much as I wanted to protect the way he treated me like a kitten... Oh, protest. I was like, what? As much as I wanted to protest the way he treated me like a kitten... My apologies, Lord Ascot. I've heard rumors about you, and I ended up behaving rudely. It was disgraceful of me to judge you based on mere hearsay. Please forgive my impudence. I quickly brewed the tea, apologizing for my earlier behavior. A long, graceful hand reached out and seized mine in the blink of an eye. I looked up at Ascot, startled.
You're so charming. I can see how those rumors about me might have arisen. Honestly, I'm not angry with you at all. If it's all right with you, I'd prefer we speak directly, get to know each other better, rather than rely on hearsay.
Ascot gently threaded his fingers through my own, his smile dripping with charm. An alarm went off in my head. Is that why the screen, flashed red for a second, too? I feel like I'm being swallowed up. Why can't I look away from him?
So what's your call? Who knows? I might tell you everything you want to know, or even help you achieve your dreams.
This sounds sus as fuck. I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. If this continued, I'd be devoured. And yet, I couldn't break eye contact no matter how hard I tried. Ascot leaned closer, his eyes never leaving mine. It is very interesting that we have an Ascot scene in Linus's route.
Be more...
Just then a loud crash, as if something had fallen, echoed from the gallery. I snapped back to reality, stepping away from Ascot as if waking from a dream. It feels like he was trying to use his Fey powers on us. You know what I mean? Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like he was especially be more, and then something and then we jolt out of it, she was I'm going to be devoured. And I feel like that was him using powers.
Too bad. I was so close to getting to know the real you.
My heart raced. I wanted to leave as soon as possible, but I had no choice in the matter. I had to perform my duties as a maid. Your tea is ready. I must excuse myself now. I didn't want to make it seem like I was running, but if that was the impression I gave, so be it. I don't want to look into his eyes. I do. I'll let the man devour me. Ooh.
Space hurried away, though she tried not to make it too obvious. I suppose I've gone too far. I recalled how she desperately tried to keep her cool. She might have been known as the Iron Mask, but it seems she wasn't immune to a bit of flirting. I guess I'd be scolded if I went any further, though. Like, stop with the pointless joke or something. Someone in particular came to mind. I could easily imagine them throwing out sarcastic comments. Oh well, whatever. Then again, people are so easily swept up by emotions, aren't they? Jeez, they truly are. No one could predict how things would play out from here, but my boredom was vanishing. A deep smile curled my lips. The way he says people are so. Are you actually like a full fae? That would be quite interesting. Now, that would be a twist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Ascot being a full fucking. Not a demi-fae like everybody else, but being a full one. Let's check the shards. Click a random one. Because, like, that one didn't come with a shard, so it's different. Oh, yes, no, okay, I remember because we went into her room and then there was a whole scene and I was like, shit, I thought it was going to give us, I thought we got like a bad ending or something because I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because I was like, what the hell? This is different. Right. Okay, I remember. It was a different room. Mrs. Verde taught me. Okay, that's a scene we did. Okay. It might have been in chapter 2, I don't know. Okay, time to search around again. So maybe we should just skip through and, well, okay, at least do the shard searches? Let me see something. We check, okay, we could, because the first one is the one we can skip, right? If it's not your first route, the first exploration can be skipped. Yeah, so we could just start at chapter 2, pick the thing that we want. Sorry, I was trying to look at the thing. I only have one hand. The birds usurped the other one. So this way, if we get like a separate cutscene or something like that in the other routes, we'll know. You know what I mean? But we can start at chapter 2 with that scene like we saw with going out to the garden to talk to Linus. We can do that for each character and then see if there's any different shard explorations like these. Like, yes, it'll still mean skipping, but we won't skip as much. You know what I mean? And I mean, what's the big deal about, I mean, we lose a little bit of the first part, but, you know, because we're spending time skipping, but you know, there's always something to discuss. It's not like, okay, I got nothing to talk about. Like, we're just going to stare here. Like, there's always like speculation or something or, you know, whatever. So I think it might only be, I can't remember in Lucas's, or maybe it was that scene in the private quarters or something was new with Oberon. Because I'm like, it was a private quarters one, and I just was following along, and I was like, oh shit, what is this? So it might have been that one was new for Lucas. This one that we just saw with Ascot was new. So for Ascot, I don't know if Edward gets one. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, maybe not. But we might as well start. We now have a save. So we can at least see in chapter 2, so we might as well start there in the future routes, unless it says start a new game. So, okay, so then we can, and then this is where we decide who we're going to pick. So, an optional, we don't really need to, I mean, I guess we can save over. We don't really need to, but we might as well just save over this one. Excuse me, I'm hitting the wrong button. All right, Linus it is. So here we go. And I mean, whatever. I shall try asking Lord Linus then. Lord Linus is easy to talk to. You'll have so much fun shopping. I doubted it'd be the sort of fun outing Lily imagined, but there was no point arguing. I decided to remain quiet. All right. Thank you for accompanying me.
You don't need to thank me. I don't particularly dislike being outdoors, and I actually enjoy shopping. Oh, but don't get your hopes up about my taste. I have no idea what girls like.
Linus was so easy to be around. He started up conversation on his own, so I didn't have to worry about small talk. That's exactly why I picked him. Strangely enough, he seemed to be enjoying this more than I am.
Hey, check this out. I think this necklace suits you. It'll stand out beautifully.
Do you really think so? I'm not so sure.
I know. How about we go take a look in the store here?
Sure.
Yeah, alright, let's give it a go.
I trailed behind the cheerful Linus, beginning to feel more and more uneasy. Am I supposed to be as excited as he is? I do like that we get different stuff. So, like with Alfred, we were picking out shoes. With Lucas, it was earrings. And now with Linus, we're picking out a necklace. So it's like we're picking out different accessories with different boys. It's kind of fun. I mean, you have to think they're helping us pick out all of our accessories. But I like that the scenes with them, they're focusing on a different accessory. It's just a tiny little thing, but it's still kind of fun because it's like, look, if we collect all our boys, we also collect a full accessory set. You know what I mean? I found myself surprised by my own feelings. His joyful smile made me feel like my lack of expression was odd.
How is it? Found anything to your liking?
Not in particular. As I said this, I reconsidered. I apologize. I asked you to accompany me, but all I've given you are vague, indecisive answers. I should have made up my mind before inviting you along. It was too late to act as if I were enjoying myself, so I thought I should apologize at the very least. Linus's eyes widened in confusion.
Why are you apologizing? The whole point of shopping is to enjoy that indecision. You take your time and then pick out the one you think is perfect. Shopping wouldn't be nearly as fun otherwise.
He looked at me with a sweet, charming smile. I found myself almost swayed by it. Wait, why do I feel so at ease? Despite trying to refocus, his cheerful smile made me relax more before I'd even realized it. Sorry. And we can skip the ball. Hey, space! And then we get to Linus scenes. Ah, look at him in his cute little outfit. I do like it because it's like everything else he's always wearing orange. Which, like, I don't hate orange, but it's also not, like, the best color. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind orange. Orange is perfect for Halloween. But, like, online, Linus is like, here's orange-haired Linus with orange outfit. But, like, this, I don't know. This is just cute. Also, to be fair, I mean, okay, I know the little vest area underneath is, like, a blue color with the red flowers. But it's given purple. You know what I mean? Because red and blue make purple. But, like, there's something about that with, like, the turquoisey kind of color, and purple and turquoise are my favorite fucking colors. So, like, there's something about this outfit that's just, especially when you have, like, the text box up, the red and the blue kind of blend together and make a purpley where it's, like, a little bit blue, a little bit purple, a little bit red, and it just goes with the little turquoisey color. And I don't know, I'm just digging this outfit so much more than his normal one. Also, his hat's a little goofy in the other one, and I'm here for goofy hats, don't get me wrong, but I just like this outfit better. I looked up at the sound of a cheerful voice and found Linus smiling brightly in front of me. Lord Linus, is something wrong?
That's my line. You went through all that trouble of wearing such a lovely dress, yet here you are, standing around like a wallflower. What a waste. So, would you be my dance partner?
He's adorable. Like, I'm not a fan of baby faces, but he is adorable, so I could absolutely understand if you love Linus. Because, like, he's adorable. I looked from his face to hand and back again, surprised by how casually he held it out to me. His smile widened. Maybe my reaction seemed strange. It was difficult to reject him. His smile showed no signs of wariness, and he offered his hand without hesitation. I finally gave in and took his hand.
Great! The song's about to start. How about we do it just like we practiced?
All right. As soon as the music began, we let the waltz sweep us away, blending in with the other dancers.
Okay, like he needs to stop staring at me with these giant fucking saucer eyes and the goofy little smile because it's so fucking adorable that I can't help be like, look at he's so adorable and like smirking a little. I'm not going to be swayed by the babyface love interest and be like, he's my favorite. It's never going to happen. I know damn well his route's going to be great, though. This great game has been amazing so far, and I'm really enjoying it. And all the routes have been great. So I have no doubt that his route will be amazing. And like her vibe, like the way she played off Alfred and then the way she was with Lucas, like still herself, but still slightly like responding to them differently. You know what I mean? It's not like she was, here's her 100% hard ass. That's it. Like she adapted to them. Like she could be a little bit of one. You know what I mean? Like because each human being has different facets. You know what I mean? We're not all 100% A or B. You're all letters of the alphabet. You got a little bit of A, you got a little bit of C, you got a little bit. Depends just on the day what spices you're made up of. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a little more garlic in me today than I did. Yesterday was a little bit more salt. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but there's still all facets of your personality. And I just feel like they've drawn out little bits of her a little bit differently with like Alfred and then with Linus, as opposed to sometimes like, here's your love interest or here's your main character. And she's just kind of naive and a little bit derpy and like, okay, I trust everyone. And then you have trash love interest and you're like, I'm here for the trash love interest, but how the fuck is this working? Because she's too naive and trusting, and this should not. There's so much wrong with this when you look at them just as the individual characters that they are, that they fit into their little boxes. You know what I mean? But I feel like with her, she's not like, I hate everyone and I want to stab them. That's a huge portion of her personality right now, but she's got other facets of her personality that we see. And I just like how each love interest has kind of drawn out a little bit of it, a little bit differently. You know what I mean? So I can see her being a little bit different with Linus than she's been with the other two. And it's a fun ride to see like what little bits of her personality these ones draw out more. You know what I mean? Like she's not a vastly different character with each person. It's just she got a little different spice with each one. You know, a little different flavor. Like anytime you cook a meal, you cook it differently unless you were absolutely measuring all the spices you put in. You're like, I put these 5 spices and you just kind of throw them in. And some days it's a little more one way, it's a little more another way, you know? That's the way she is right now. We're just pulling out a different spice. We're just going to see which one's coming out. So it's a fun fucking ride. I'm enjoying every bit of it. But he is so fucking adorable with his giant fucking saucer eyes right now. I just want to smoosh his face. Like, so still not into the babyface love interests, but you know what I mean? Like when you see a cute cat or an adorable dog, you're just like, it's so cute. I just want to squish it. That's kind of what I want to do to his face right now. He's just making me want to squish his face. But like in a very nice way, not like in a bad way. Not like when Alfred shows up and you're like, God, I want to kiss this man. Linus is like, he's so adorable. Look at his little face. His little face is so cute. He's like, he's an adorable puppy dog. That's what it is. Anyway, to be more accurate, Linus was the one dancing with precision. I merely followed his lead. Just as we practiced, dancing feels so easy with Linus. Unlike in practice, however, the hall was crowded. I was still unsure of my skills and afraid I might collide with someone. I do want to know why, if there is a purpose to ending up at the ball or going to the ball aside from gives you an excuse to dance with your boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be something somewhere where we're like, oh, there's a nefarious reason for this, or the game is just like, shh, just dance with your love interest and shut up, you know? Come on, move a little closer. Got it. Whenever I came close to bumping into someone, Linus immediately pulled me closer. It felt so natural, though, and it looked as if he were merely moving to the music's rhythm. I should have taught you how to dance in a crowd, too. Is it scary with so many people around? Not at all. Are you having fun, then? Yes, very much so. The answer slipped out when he looked at me with a mischievous gleam in his eyes. Okay, to be fair, again, you're dancing, right? Okay, so even if Linus isn't your favorite love interest, okay, how are you to like, yeah, of course you're having fun. You're like, of course, like, look at you. Like, you're beaming like a little golden retriever. And like, how can you not be like, yeah, no, this is great. We're having a great time. Because look at you. You want to boop him on his nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I even saying? I didn't come here to have fun. I reminded myself of this over and over again, but Linus's eyes glistened each time, reflecting me in them. I get restless when those eyes are fixed on me. It's as if I'm on the verge of remembering something, that you've seen his eyes before in your childhood friends, but you blocked it out because of trauma. I was a bit anxious, wondering whether my face hand would activate, like it had when we first met. Then Linus suddenly leaned close to my ear. By the way, I didn't see it earlier, but that necklace looks amazing on you. Look at him blushing. He's so adorable when he blushes. Like, Lucas turned neon red and it was so cute, but like, it suits him so much. It's like, just look, it's so precious. Stop it. It's gonna be a great round. Thank you. I responded reflexively, surprised by his unexpected compliment and actions. No, hearing this doesn't make me happy. This is just an act in order to get Linus on my side. It's just an act, nothing more. My unease was due to a completely different reason this time, and I struggled to keep my heart from racing. And we're gonna go see the Queen! Linus Chapter 1! Here we are, bitches. Are we us? I'm going to assume. I don't think we're on his side. I didn't see. This is a memory, but though I tucked myself into bed that night, sleep wouldn't come to me. Feeling giddy, I looked to my side, and there... Come now, it's time for bed. If you don't sleep, tomorrow won't come. You sure you want to stay awake? Mom... There was a warm smile I could never hope to see anymore. I knew it was a dream, but my dream self obviously continued the memory. Obliviously. Sorry, she did say obliviously. I thought it said obliviously, but then my brain was like, no, that wouldn't be what it said. I can't read today. I was also thrown off because I'm like, she's obviously remembering this from when she was a child, but our little portrait sprite is adult us, current us. But I mean, that makes sense because in a dream, you'd be like, I know I'm supposed to be a child, but I'm me right now at my adult age. But everyone's treating me like I'm 8. But, you know, same difference. You know what I mean? Because, like, dreams are fucking weird. And now she's her again. Okay. But, Mother, I want to hear that story again. I want to know more and more about when you and Father fell in love. Oh, dear. I just told you that story the other night. Why do you want to hear it again? Well, my dream self opened her mouth to reply, but couldn't find the words to express herself and resorted to begging. Well... Because you met a boy and you wonder if you're in love with him, Linus? That's what we're going to remember. Just tell me, pretty please. Father and Mother weren't supposed to get married at first, right? You won't tell me why, but you still want me to tell you the story. You're such a handful. But I guess I don't mind. Yeah, you won't tell me why, because we met Linus. It's going to come out. Like right now, her dream self won't reveal the secrets and we won't remember. And we'll be like, yeah, I remember, but I can't remember why. And then all of a sudden we're going to flash back to this memory a bunch of times. And then we're going to figure out it's because of Linus and whatever. There you go. I played the route for you. That's how it's going to go. There's going to be other mysteries, like how deeply were you involved with killing my family? And how are we going to murder the queen when you're like her guard dog? And like, how's that conversation going to go? You know. Mother stroked my head. Her hand was so warm, like I was really back home. Softly gazing at me, she began her tale. You remembered right. My husband-to-be was arranged for me since the day I was born. A promise between our households. But the person I fell in love with was Lewis. At times I thought my feelings would change once I matured into an adult. However, they never changed, no matter how much time passed. In fact, as I grew, so did my love. So much that I knew I could never let him go.
Then what did you do, Mother? Did you break that promise between your families? Mother's smile faltered at the bluntness of my question, but she nodded firmly. It's interesting how Mother worded that, too. Like, oh, I was betrothed to someone else, but then I knew I always wanted to marry your father. I thought it would change, but nope, as I grew up, nope, I still wanted to marry him. And it's like, oh, that's paralleling her, like us. Baby Spacey has met Linus and, like, has a little kid crush, and he's got a little crush, and, like, oh my God, adorable. Like, although technically she looks 8, but I think she's supposed to, well, we don't know when we first met Linus, right? But like when our family died and everything, we were like 11. So, you know what I mean? But then they keep showing this and I'm like, she's supposed to be 11? She looks like 8. Like, I'm like, if you told me she was like 6 to 8, I'd believe you, but I'm supposed to believe she's 11? I'd sooner believe Linus is 11 right now. You know what I mean? But anyway. But like, so we don't know with this version of her kid spread if she's supposed to be like 11 or if she's younger or whatever. But that's why she's asking her mother. And I feel like the wording is so that we're going to find a parallel and be like, that's it. I met Linus and I, you know, had a crush on him when we were kids. And, you know, that's going to parallel our mother's story where our mother's like, oh, I thought I'd get over it, you know, when I grew up, but nope, always, never. Once I fell in love with your father, I never wanted anyone else. And it's going to kind of sweet for Linus's route. You know, you're like, oh, so they had little crushes on each other as kids, and then we find each other as adults, and then we fall in love, and that's adorable. But it is like, yeah, but then, like, I mean, I guess technically in the other routes, she's never revealed who she is. They've never really said, I mean, to Alfred and Lucas, but they've never said if they've revealed to everyone, oh, by the way, now that we've gotten rid of the queen, this is Spacey. By the way, she didn't die. Or we've just left it as like, whatever, because I don't try to regain any kind of noble anything. I work for Lucas as a secretary. I'm out, you know, whatever. So, because the thought is, if you think about it, like, knowing Linus now, I'm thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about it in those routes. Linus would be like, that was the girl I always had a crush on and she's married to someone else. Sucks for you. Also for John, who's also been in love with us for the last 8 years. To be fair, probably. You know, I feel more for John than I do Linus in this sense. But now knowing that she potentially had a crush on him too as a kid, and then you're like, oh, and then you kind of forgot about it and fell in love with someone else. Whoops, kind of the opposite of what your mother did. So it's an odd choice. I mean, I get what they're going for here, but it is like, but you do see how that's an odd choice when you look at the other routes. We're not supposed to, though, but like, they know we're going to, right? Like, I don't know. So, anyway, that's what ended up happening, yes. My choice upset a lot of people and plans, but I couldn't go against it. Go against it? What's it? I couldn't go against my own heart. The heart, you see, will sometimes hear a calling that you can't control. Even if someone tries to change you, even if you know it's wrong, once your heart finds its calling, no one can stop it. Especially when it comes to love. I think that's a nice little message that our mom's giving us, though. Like, when your heart is set on something, like, when you find something that you truly believe in deep within your soul and in your heart, no one can change your mind. Because, like, to be fair, that's how we've lived. Like, no one's been like, you shouldn't get revenge. And we're like, yeah, you're right. And we're like, no, we have to find that within ourselves to let go of some of our vengeance. We always take out the queen, because good, but we don't take out our boyfriends. You know what I mean? Love. Yep. So, listen, Spacey. If one day your heart tells you that this person is the one for me, you should obey it. And sometimes Alfred and Lucas are the ones, plural, for us. You mustn't resist. Follow your heart. Okay, I will, Mother. Why had I wanted to hear a love story that night? Before I could recall, the scenery of my dream melted away to something new. Fire? Oh. Looks like you're all better now. The new setting was somewhere inside a forest. I was racing between the trees with someone slightly taller than me, like it was a contest. Linus. Yep, we can
can't tell. It's already... He doesn't have the orange, super orange hair, but that's baby Linus.
Yeah, I'm healthy enough to keep up now. It's all thanks to you.
That someone... He was the boy I saved. I wanted to check how much he'd recovered and proposed we play in the forest. If memory served, I had found him collapsed in the forest about 3 weeks before this race. No matter what state he'd been in, he was still an outsider. Fascinated, I looked after him while he was tormented by his fever and wounds.
Not just me. My brother nursed you too, and Mother was the one who took care of your owies and medicine. I only did a little. But you were the one who found me first, and you also cheered me on lots. You kept me company and told me everything would be okay. That's how I managed to get back on my feet.
He grinned wide with the sun against his back. The glare was dazzling.
Hey, what should we do today?
I came to a stop to ask him. He looked up at the tree canopy and paused to think with me.
Good question. Maybe I could climb trees for the first time in a while. I feel like my arms have gotten weaker, so I want to see how far I can get. That sounds great. I'll join you. Wait, you're gonna climb too?
His eyes widened. Wanting to give him an even bigger surprise, I scaled a nearby tree as a demonstration, in a dress no less. Take that, bitch! Like, little boys climbing trees, whatever, I'm climbing in a dress, motherfucker! 10 times better than y'all. Let's remind him of that.
See? I can get to the top of a low tree like this in no time. I can climb taller trees too.
Plumping down on a branch, I swung my legs to look proudly at ease, but the boy burst out laughing.
Wow, you're amazing, Spacey. You're a girl who can do anything, huh? You can heal people and cheer them up. You even mastered racing and tree climbing. Hey, I like... Huh? What? What did you say?
His voice became quiet. Unable to catch his words, I jumped down from the tree. So, okay, I'm wondering, like, this is obviously probably, like, right before we were found and murdered. So, like, this might make a little more sense. So, because I was wondering, like, okay, so Linus and I met before, blah, blah, blah. How was he involved in telling people, like, was he involved in, like, telling people where we were? But, like, if we knew each other and then we vanished, how would him, even at 13, have found us? You know what I mean? But this makes more sense. Because, again, at 13, you'd be smart enough to be like, well, I can't tell them where she is. Not like you're 8 and you're like, oh, yeah, I saw her. She was, like, right there. And you're not thinking about it. 13, you would be kind of old enough to know what's going on, even if you're not really fully, like, aware of the gravity of the situation. You would know they're looking for them and, like, I don't want to tell them where she is. Like, you know what I mean? So this makes sense. If something happened to him, we found him, we helped him, blah, blah, blah. We don't know he's part of House Ward, right? And then he goes back and is like, yeah, no, I met this girl, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what? Where? And then he tells them where we are without realizing, because maybe he's been kept in the dark. Maybe he has no clue about what's going on at all. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if you say we were friends and then we disappeared, he would be like, why? Why is my friend gone? And they'd be like, oh, they were evil to the queen. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to give your kid a reason. You wouldn't just be like, I don't know. Don't think about it. You know, they tell him they're backstabbing the queen or whatever. But if Linus has never met me and they're doing that, they're talking about it in private. Linus has no clue what's going on. He ends up injured. We find him, help him. He goes back and he's like, I met this cool girl, blah, 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 blah. And he's talking about it. And they're like, excuse me, wait, but what was her name again? Where did you meet this child? And then he tells them, and then we end up dead. Our whole family ends up dead because he told them where we were. You know what I mean? All right, I have to go give the bird a break, and we're going to hope that this stupid thing does not turn off. Last time I moved to give the bird a break when I was recording something else, my recording software decided that, good boy, it was going to detach from my thing because my cord touched the other cord. And they touch each other all the time, but it was like, no! I didn't want it to be dramatic and throw itself, and like stop. And then I had to like try to reconnect everything. It was a pain in the ass. Anyway, this makes sense. This is probably the time we meet him. I'm guessing she's supposed to be 11 then still, and he's 13. And they look like 8 and 10. But whatever. His voice became quiet. Unable to catch his words, I jumped down from the tree. When I stood in front of him again, as if he'd found the push he needed, he opened his mouth. I like you. Oh, thanks. I blurted that out without thinking. Thanks. Okay, bye. It was the first time anyone other than my family or the villagers said they liked me. I didn't know how to reply back then. But now that I thought about it, it was that night that I'd pestered Mother for stories about love. Then will you keep me company during my rehab again today? Climbing trees is fun, but since you're with me, I want to do something we can do together. He averted his eyes as he spoke. Regardless, I replied enthusiastically, and it's actually kind of cute that it's like insta-love as like children, but then he never got over it. Like, of course I will. How about we play tag? Just so you know, I'm really good at getting away between the trees. This sounds great. But hey, tag's one of my strengths too. I'm especially good at catching little kids running around. Who are you calling little? You'll regret it if you look down on me. Okay, ready? Yeah. Now that we'd decided what to do for rehab, we dove right into it. He was it while I ran away. Deducing our roles from our specialties, we began sprinting at top speed at almost the same time. You're seriously good at getting away. Foreshadowing? A little bit. Yep, you won't ever catch me. This conversation's going to come back in full force, like, later on in the game. Like, we weaved between trees as we ran, taunting each other from time to time. He was so light on his feet, he could have been floating. But I went toe-to-toe with him. Skillfully, I ran through the forest that was my home and dodged just before his hands could reach me. The warm sunlight filtered through the canopy leaves and poured down on us. Even as we ran, we never took our eyes off one another. Yeah, because, like, how long were we missing? After the queen, wasn't it like at least 5 years or something that everybody was looking for us before they found us? So that makes sense. Oh, no, sorry, I was moving my hand. Just a bit more. Ah! Caught you. I thought for a second, I was like, are we getting a CG? Because then you know it's him, but... He threw his arms around me, and as I fell to the ground from the force, I let out a small yelp. What confused me was... Whoa! Wait. No, okay. He also made a startled noise. Wondering what happened, I peeked up at him. He was pushing down on his head with both hands. Did something just pop up from his head? I squinted to get a better look at his head, but the sunlight spilled out from the trees, blinded... Oh. The sunlight spilling out from the trees blinded my vision. I said the sunlight spilled out from the trees blinded my vision. I was like, no, I read that wrong. Okay. Spilling out from the trees blinded my vision. I really wanted to see something popped out from his head. Do you have horns? Do you have labradoodle ears? That's concerning and fucking weird. Wondering when I peeked, he was pushing down on his head with both hands. Did something pop up from his head? Well, they're like the guard dogs. Do you actually have, are you like, everybody else has wings and you have ears? Do you have like dog ears? What's this? What's going on? Sir? That's gonna be weird if you have some kind of like animal ears and you're like a cat boy or a dog boy or like whatever. Fill in the blank. Is that what's happening here? Weird. Fucking weird. I did not expect that. Okay. But anyway, I know we're a little under time and whatever, but I am going to wrap this part up here, so I will see you guys next time. Ruminate on the dog boy thing. I don't know. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.